So really it goes back to your dad giving you that, renting that piece of land. He rented it to you, right? I mean,
Yeah,
how old were you? You were 12.
I was 12, and this is something that is I've got two young boys, 2 and 4, and this is a page I'm going to take out of my dad's book as I raise those kids. The school system is not going to teach people, and this is my opinion, it's not going to teach you how to run a business. The school system is good at making employees. And we would sit down and we would look at the market rate per acre, and we would look at how much seeds would cost. And very early on, we had an income statement. I mean, that's what it was. And we would track our costs. And when it was we were feeling really busy and wanted to hire people, we would go back to, and it was just written out. But my dad spent some time with me and my younger brothers, kind of walking through, hey, this is how a business runs. And you've got your revenue, you've got your expenses, and you have your net income. And so yeah, it started there. And as I raise my children, that's something I'm very interested in doing, is finding something that will teach them about business. And it's not necessarily about making money. It's about teaching them you can do this. You live in
Mhm.
a country that supports entrepreneurs, and it's a great time to be an entrepreneur. And teach them kind of the fundamentals or underpinnings of business.
Well, you know, what I find fascinating is your dad rented the land to you. He did not say, okay, here is some land, go do it, and here is how you make money, and blah, blah. He also put the responsibility on you to pay him rent.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think that, oh, it's just my dad, I don't have to pay if I cannot? Or did you actually take it 100% as a responsibility you must meet?
Yeah, I took it seriously as a responsibility, and that goes to probably my relationship with my dad. But when he said something, he meant it. And I, in hindsight, if his goal was to teach his kids about business, he did a good job. And waiving rent would have probably been a disservice to us. And again, the thing here was not necessarily about making money, but it was about learning and just kind of learning some of the basics. And so, of course, like when we got seed, he would give us an interest-free loan, but we would keep track of receipts and how much the seed cost. And in the fall, we'd pay him back. And that was something that, yeah, that was really valuable, really valuable.
Did you ever have that discussion with your dad about, him charging you rent? And did you ever, at least jokingly, did you really have to charge?
No, not the discussion I've had with him is, Dad, I've got two young boys. I grew up in Iowa where we had great soil. You put a seed on the ground in Iowa, it's going to grow. I live in Missouri where when it rains, rocks come out of the ground. It's not fertile soil. And but I want to recreate something like that for my kiddos. So I've talked to him about, like, what were some challenges? What, if you could do it differently, what would you do? And but not necessarily on the rent piece. Probably at the time, maybe around age 16 when you're rebellious. I'm sure I probably had something to say about it, but really in hindsight, it was a great experience and something I was not getting in the school system. And it sounds dramatic, but it did change my life.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, this is the experience and the wisdom that people have, and then growing up as kids, we don't really realize, but they do these things, and they either make certain rules and make us do things, but really they were thinking 10 steps ahead, and they knew the impact. And there isn't enough time. These are things, experiences that really need to be celebrated, except that we don't think about these. And as yet, those are the things that make us who we are and then give us the kind of life we have, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.